Alright, let's just get started because this case is longer than the previous one.
Oh boy. Wait, the screen share is being fucky for me. It does this for some reason. When you end the screen share, you start it. It just shows me your fucking profile picture and doesn't take me to the actual stream for like no reason.
Well, tell me when it's fine.
Yeah, I got it. I just have to like click on it and then click on the actual stream.
Manually, yeah. Also,
I can see it now.
Yeah, also Twitch did not bless me with quality settings today.
That.
That's so sad.
Sorry, tough luck, sweetie. All the French Minecraft YouTubers are taking all the bits.
The adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his
yeah, it's still the
yeah.
The
they
pre-corrected
can't change that
name.
unless they want to
his
redub it.
voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The Speckled Band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson.
And
In
Wilson
front
to
of us
Wilson.
was an enormous
Wilson!
animal, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible Speckled Band I had ever seen.
She looked like she had never seen anything quite so horrible.
In all her life. On board the steamship, Alclair. Alclair.
That's a bit of a weird. It's very British.
Yeah. Oh, okay, we get more.
Oh shit.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder.
The guy on the right is so German.
Yeah.
The cabin door was bolted from the inside
what the fuck?
when the man was killed.
What?
Why is this
Marks to suggest the bolt was
like
tampered
cut out of
in
the
any way.
stream again?
Oh shit.
This would appear to
I only
be
missed like 2 seconds.
Okay.
But it's fine. I'm like, what the hell?
In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor.
That's Cyrillic.
Almost certainly
Yeah.
with ink from this upset bottle.
The model is very upset. It is
True
crying.
word. So the victim was a Russian man then, and the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script.
He's so British.
And evidently,
I know, right?
the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality.
Is that a gun?
Yeah.
The heck?
This
He's
paper
just
seal was
playing
placed
Splatoon.
just prior to the incident by the victim himself, I would venture.
I would venture.
What have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
Oh, he's Russian.
He's Russian, okay.
They're both Russian, okay.
Yeah.
That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. And in cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Why'd they make her British?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
Oh, it's him again.
I'm a great British consultant detective.
Oh, yeah.
Only one in the world. Herlock
Damn, my
Sholmes.
voice is not
I
wrong. As
presume
wrong. I have to like
you must
correct
have
the.
heard of me.
No, your voice is fine for her.
I don't want to make a British accent for her as well. No.
I don't wanna make her British. Okay, what's going on now? Ugh, my head is throbbing. What's going on?
What's going on?
Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Okay, thank God my mic is turned on this time.
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't have to re-render the stream. Wait, I can't move.
Because Maggie is sitting. Oh, okay.
Ah, what the? Why am I in handcuffs? Was this Sherlock?
Probably.
Was his voice? I was like trying to see what his voice would be like.
Tuesday in it.
I have to like talk with puckered lips like the entire time he's talking. So like, So
Yeah.
you finally wake up now, hmm? Oh, that's him.
Oh, the fucking sailor.
I should do like how every Polish person speaks English. We had to drag you out of the wardrobe.
It's so accurate.
I do not believe you how you could wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man.
It's just like Polish cheddar.
Yeah. You.
Nick said to me he like just based Cheddar's voice on like how people around him in real life try to speak English.
Yeah. You found me then. Da. We found you. And now you pay. Criminal.
Oh.
How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, sorry.
He's apologizing for what?
Now you have been found, it is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is,
Wow,
No.
that's cold.
I'll tell you everything. Oh, I think that's her, because it's a high-pitched like
That's
beeping.
probably a... There's only one thing I'd like to know from you.
Isn't that...
Yep.
Yep.
Why did you do it? Why did you take his life?
Miss Susato. Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma?
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Ha! You pretend you do not know? You are a wolf in sheep's pelt! You are the killer, do not try to make excuses! What? What?
Kazuma's body was discovered not long ago.
Holy
fuck?
shit.
Well, we're already on the second case and we're just being thrown into this.
It was me, actually.
Here, in this very cabin that was bolted shut from the inside.
His body? Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be.
Wait,
These handcuffs, surely you don't think I... What did you say?
wait, I'll finish reading her first. I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma's life? Answer me, please!
No. No!
You did say you would scream. What the fuck? So, like, we're only on the second case and he's already dead. Oh, what I was going to say is, they're like, oh, the victim who wrote the word was Russian, because he wrote the Russian word. Kazuma's not Russian.
Yeah.
Something's not right.
Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. To turn off like the fucking instant replay. Okay. Are you sure about this? When we get in trouble? Ha ha ha. Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? I don't think that was his voice. It was really something
That's
else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. That way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. He had this kind of like Edgeworth poshness.
Yeah.
I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey,
So
honestly.
mean.
But I've broken every bone in my body. He's just compact. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself in my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. Ugh, I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From a faithful judicial assistant Mikotaba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. And now it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what. Oh, I tell you what. Why don't you write keep out or something on this piece of paper? What? And I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. Only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We're supposed to be going on this adventure to England, together. We leave you at next port, stay quiet until then, don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer. His eyes are very yellow.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a murderer. Duh,
Not
you
again.
said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on this ship, but... Murdering my best friend? No one else here could have done it. Admit the truth. This is so strange, like, speaking like this.
Yeah.
Susato. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know.
Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you, too.
Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me.
Oh!
This nightmare's getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. Here we go. Okay, Kazuma's death. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs. They think I did it? These handcuffs think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer?
When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside.
What do you mean?
There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls.
What?
Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation?
This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly?
Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances?
Please, Susato, you have to tell me.
The cause of death is still undetermined.
They don't know how he died?
The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call.
So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then?
That's true, yes.
About the incident. Can anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma?
Presumably, that's something you know the answer to better than anyone.
Please.
Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all.
Well, yes, I was, but...
He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning.
Oh, God.
I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. This morning, he didn't come. I could sense that he wouldn't.
Does that mean he was already dead when Susato arrived at his cabin door, I wonder?
I knocked. There was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, there was Kazuma, collapsed on the floor.
The white tape there now showed exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow.
I wish it wasn't the case, but it's just very hard to believe.
It's all very hard for me to believe too, trust me.
Now I've told you everything that I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question.
Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Oh wow, okay.
What?
2 questions actually.
Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you?
Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time.
I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma's cabin for so long without him noticing?
No, that would have been impossible, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together.
He actually asked you? But why?
I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself.
I don't understand. We get a
Kazuma,
flashback.
why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme length to smuggle me to England with you?
I want you. Wow, he didn't even say. Okay, he does say something.
It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I, that you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, I want you. If you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it.
Yeah, man, he never told us the favor either.
Yeah.
Kazuma he was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you.
Yes, maybe. Something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susato? I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you, by stowing away on the ship, I mean.
If I know Kazuma, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association.
God, she's psychic. That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact. Okay, last
Isn't
night...
she kind of like Maya's ancestor?
Not actually.
Oh, okay.
Like from
It's
a...
kind of like the equivalent.
Yeah.
If you're not the culprit, then tell me.
In like, there's like a special court case where like Phoenixes and Maya are in the fucking like Japanese court.
Yeah.
And Maya's like, you should become my like, my ancestor, and Susato's like, Ayasato Susato. Because I was like, Because that was their last name in the Japanese version.
Oh yeah. Oh god. What happened last night here in this cabin?
It's not her actual last name here.
No.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I...
Fell asleep?
Well, yes.
So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma was killed?
Maybe I got drugged or something. Well, yes.
He's not happy.
I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do, but it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. For some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything, or maybe he was just like hit in the head or something.
Oh, true.
Really?
Really?
Oh,
That's fine.
that's a new expression. Is something wrong?
Oh, no. It's... Please, forget it.
Susato, you have to believe me, I didn't do it!
I really don't want to doubt you. The trouble is, there is no one else who could have possibly have done this.
Ugh. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why are you tape? Why did this have to happen? Ugh, I can't take this!
Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen.
I'm sorry, but Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. And I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen.
Well, what do you propose to do then?
I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here.
With
I'm
my hand still in the cuffs.
I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me.
Yeah. She killed him!
What the?
That was a Susato takedown.
Oh shit. Susato, what? What martial art form is that? I'm going
to need you to prove it.
Like it's just upside down now. Sorry, prove it?
Yes, your innocence. I need evidence.
Let me just check my pockets real quick while I'm here. Proof that I'm a student at Imperial Yume University. I was wearing the color of my uniform jacket. I can like examine it.
Oh shit! Oh, it's got like a number on the back.
Yeah. Personal student number is engraved on the back here. You lose your pin, they won't accept you as a university student at the university. You may not come in, yeah, they say. Of course, you can get a new pin made if you can just tell them your number. Actually, I lost mine twice already, but I still don't know my student number by heart. I always say to myself, I mustn't forget to write it down somewhere, but then I forget not to write that. Forget not to forget that. Oh god.
He's so Phoenix.
What does this say?
What's the
Imperial.
Imperial. Okay.
Ah, the symbol of Yume University. Every student wears this pin with pride. It's funny, but most emblems seem to be either round or rectangular. I like the spike design, even though it doesn't really make any sense. Looks like the logo for this game, though it doesn't cause problems. Looks lots of students end up cutting their fingers on their badges. So it was the idea of one of the founders. Sharp pin for a sharp mind or something? Okay, nice. Maybe I can present my badge to her. Kazuma would stick this over the doors of the wardrobe for me. It says keep out in Japanese, though I'm not sure if the Russian crew can actually read it.
Oh.
Why did... okay.
Yeah, it just says keep out.
These are just like glue stains.
Tip.
You can see the remnants of glue we used to stick this over the wardrobe doors. That wasn't proper glue, of course. We didn't have any of that with us. So I pulverized some rice into paste to use instead. To a story like me, every single grain of rice represents precious rations. so I spread it as thinly as I possibly could. Couldn't bear to waste any. Jesus. Imagine using your food to fucking
Yeah.
use glue. As glue. The paper seal I wrote for the wardrobe. I remember really working hard to make it. I'll never forget how Kazuma reacted. You expect the Russian crew to be able to read that, he said. Still, I was sure people would get the idea, even if they couldn't read it, so we used it anyway. Okay? And it worked, I don't know.
He was really proud of it, okay?
I don't know if the crew thought it was creepy or what, but no one opened the doors. Foreign languages
there
are
was, like,
scary.
a ghost in there, dude.
People.
True.
Kazuma, certified lawyer and my best friend, was on his way to London for a study tour when he was taken from this world. A judicial assistant who is traveling with Kazuma to London for a study tour. She is the epitome of a refined Japanese lady.
She's 16.
Oh yeah, alright?
Yeah, look.
Shit.
People.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
she's 16.
She's younger
What the
than
hell?
Maya was in the first game, so apparently.
Yeah.
Younger than, like, Pearl was in the fucking 6th game and she looks older. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But how am I supposed to...
Have you forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law.
Ah, I see. Expect me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Susato to believe me. Show me some evidence. Alright, I'm not guilty of this awful crime. Look at my
badge.
Alright then, how about this? You can't trick me with something irrelevant like that. Oh. I'll try to come up with something more convincing. Otherwise I get the feeling she'll throw me on the floor all over again.
What, you mean you're not already on the floor?
You'll pick me up and throw me on the floor again. Like in fucking
The way
Monty
you're
Python.
looking at me. I think perhaps I didn't throw you hard enough.
Throw him to
damn.
the floor. Harder. No, it was definitely hard enough. Let me show you something else. There's the only other thing that we have right now.
Yes! Yeah.
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors?
Oh, yeah, it was. I remember clearly.
Thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. Naturally, he did the same last night as well.
Ah. Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before you opened them.
If I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own.
Yeah, that's quite true.
In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma.
Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor,
Like in that Peter Griffin pose, fucking do it like this.
I can see why Kazuma thought so highly of you.
Thank you, Susato. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up?
No, stay there forever. The whole rest of the game is told from that perspective.
Yeah, the Australian mode.
Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here, at least.
Thank you. So you finally believe me?
I'm sorry. No.
No.
Wow, okay.
What?
I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you use some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position.
Does you think I am a magician?
Yeah. For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same.
Alright, let's get to work, Susato.
Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts.
Oh.
I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example.
Right. Well, anyway, should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. Alright, we get this now.
Examine.
We talk. Okay, we did everything in here. Examine.
Why is there like a bone on the floor? On the right.
On the... this?
No. On the right. Turn the thing to the right again.
I have to like use a different button each time?
Turn the camera to the right. Yeah. See the plate on the floor? Why is there like a bone?
Oh,
yeah, that...
maybe they ate something here. It's my dinner from last night. Roast chicken. It was really tasty.
Roast chicken?
It's a big chicken leg.
Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But... did you eat it on the floor here?
I'm not a dog, Susato. I ate it at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how did the plate end up on the floor?
Kazuma didn't like chicken at all, did he?
No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me.
Oh no! Does that mean... poor Kazuma spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? That's her main concern?
Yeah.
It's just too horrible.
She looks so distressed about it. Ugh, now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach.
Too much chicken. Oh dear, that won't do.
Oh, what's the matter, Susato?
Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused, I forget to look around properly.
Ah, yes, that's not good.
I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo? Oh, she's showing you how to look around, I bet.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep. Bitch, we just did that! I'm sure you're careful to look all around using B and M, aren't you? Now, let's investigate all corners of this cabin.
Sorry, I skipped too fast.
It's fine.
Yes!
I've
Let's
read
do
it
that!
before.
Yeah. I suppose
I
my
read
field
it.
of vision has been rather small until now.
He was wearing horse blinders the whole
Yeah.
time.
Oh, then we get the
Alright,
check
you can't
mark.
go... You
Yeah.
can't go to the right anymore, you can only go to the left and to the left again.
Yeah.
That's Kazuma's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it.
Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul.
I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip.
I suppose that shows how just how important it was to him. And now he's gone, but I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Okay, this scroll. Seigi, Japanese word for justice. Brush strokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma.
He's not straight. Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully?
Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to?
Even though you stowed away on this ship?
Now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win.
Can you investigate the tablecloth?
Yeah.
There's nothing on this table at all. Plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason.
Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still. No, wait a minute.
What is it?
That's funny, I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. Was the chicken, like, drugged or something? Like with sleeping powder or something?
Yeah, I don't know. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma.
No, no, no! This picture...
Investigate the guy.
Yeah, I was just checking if there's anything, like, more obvious like this here.
I guess there's that shard thing of
That's
whatever it is.
There's that shit stain
I
on the
can't
floor.
see it very well. Oh, it's a like.
It's the Taco Bell. What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever this thing was, it appears to have been broken clean in two.
Does look like a bell.
Yeah.
The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener from a kimono outfit.
I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he?
A gay little trinket.
And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue.
Yes, you're right. This is the color of brick, isn't it? Brown bricks. Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Yeah, let's examine the guy first. So I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me? What? I was wondering how it's going, the investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it is not true, I see. Sorry. The criminal asked the investigator for information about his crime. Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke.
Doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty.
Might have useful information though, I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Yet, of course not. Now back to the corner of the room and make silent. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there, he seemed a little flustered. Okay, that's all we're gonna get out of him.
Why is every European in this game so racist towards Japanese people?
That's just how 19th century was. This is under the bed.
Yeah.
It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo?
I think living isn't quite the right description.
Oh, no. I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting, making this voyage in your own secret hideout.
The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception.
Because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin.
Imagine living in a wardrobe for 50 days.
Ugh.
No, sadly not. I don't think we... Let's check everything.
Yeah, you didn't
here.
investigate the door.
Yeah, the door.
You can investigate the door.
When I went for help and the crewmen forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed.
It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy. Just slides across to secure the door shut. Still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. Glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel, the culprit used a needle and a thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this. Oh.
Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself.
That's a clever trick, is it? Isn't it?
But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid.
She glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. God, okay.
You can investigate, I guess, that red sign by the door.
If there's anything else, okay.
I think it's in Russian.
There are rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Eau Claire.
Oh, number one, no trespassing.
It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board.
Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden.
Failed step 2.
Yeah. Wait, what are you implying? Oh, she had the same idea.
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? Harsh. I can't decide.
Well, one thing's for sure, either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Books.
Yeah. Looks like they got thrown around a bit.
Yeah, the books have fallen over the shelf. Look, they're all toppled in the same way.
And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well.
I'm T-posing. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked, and everything mown down at once.
I wonder if... Perhaps it was Kazuma doing his morning sword training, do you think?
I seriously doubt it.
He's not that strong.
Then perhaps... It was you, Naruhodo, in a fit of rage.
I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder?
Like the ship just tilted or something.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess.
I don't think you
Wait,
can.
no, don't do that.
That's disturbing the crime scene.
You're disturbing the crime scene! No! Why'd
Is
you
it gonna
do
say anything
that?
else now? Provided for the entertainment of whoever's occupying the cabin, I suppose.
And they must be well looked after. You mustn't damage any of the ship's property.
But it wasn't me who knocked them over.
Well, anyway, I feel much better now they're neatly lined up. I can't relax when things are in a mess.
But we're in
Me
the middle
too.
of an active crime scene, lady. Yeah, there's a suitcase, I guess.
It's a very oh yeah.
That's a very large traveling case, isn't it?
Yes,
In
it
it.
carries a lot of memories for me. And me.
Memories? What do you mean?
Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on the board inside that case.
Ah, yes. I see it says this way up. In Japanese.
Which in hindsight I should have realized the foreign crewman wouldn't be able to read, oh god. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. I'll actually briefly smile when the transition
Oh
happened.
dear. Being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds.
Well, it was less painful than Susato Takedown.
Yeah, she like fucking flipped this man who is like half her age, or not half her age, he's a decade older than her. Fucking flipped him over. I don't think you can investigate the bottle.
Yeah, I was trying.
think
It's
you
weird
have to-
that you can't.
Yeah.
Did Kazuma write that before he died? Looks like it's written in ink.
He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. Then, I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage. Poor Kazuma. No doubt he was in terrible pain. Almost unbearable to imagine it.
I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing.
I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo.
Well, yes. What? Then what language is it? What a mystery.
Pains me to admit it, but I don't know.
It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? If I just compare it
Gee,
with
I wonder
here
what it
and
is.
here and here, compare the characters. Apparently we
And the
examined the
fucking-
body already. And
And the
desk.
guy that's standing right there.
Yeah.
This is where dear Kazuma would have sat whenever he was writing.
London Diary. Poor Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination.
It looks as though the last entry is incomplete.
Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue.
Hiya! That's out of the question!
What?
Kazuma may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts.
I think he's just like standing, doesn't give a shit. But what if it's something important, something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it.
She's so mean.
Or Kazuma.
Poor Kazuma.
I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important?
The need for speed.
The need for clues. This
You have
early
others
thing.
that... This is... Yeah, it's a bell cord contraption, I think.
What do you mean, contraption?
I read about it in a book I was studying that talks about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants.
Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try?
Yes! In the interests of cultural research, obviously. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people.
No, I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy, that's all.
They're just fucking around in the middle of this crime scene, dude.
Yeah.
What about the vent? What about the vent?
The vent, yeah.
The vent. The Among Us sus vent.
God.
I think that's some kind of opening for ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin.
Isn't that a little odd?
What do you mean?
Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it was
Sus.
connected to the next door cabin.
Yes, it would appear to. You're right.
But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it would be connected to the outside.
That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that.
I suppose maybe that's it.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, okay. Who's that? Wasn't he there a minute? He wasn't there a minute ago.
How did he get there?
Oh.
He might be European.
As far as I can tell, it
how
looks
did
like he
he?
might be European.
Oh, how did he?
You've noticed the man too, have you? No idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall.
He's sus.
Naruhodo, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is?
Well, no, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. Doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. Is he investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell.
Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him.
Am I just imagining it, or does Susato look almost uncontrollably excited?
By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case. If you press space on people when they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them.
Alright then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself.
Oh, please do.
Hang on,
I think that's everything. Yeah. Yeah, there's a check mark on it.
yeah, cause there's an achievement
we
for
already looked at that.
investigating the bed. But it's not working for some reason. Maybe it's a different
Oh.
bed. Is this lamp?
gotta
No,
Get
okay.
all the beds in the mansion.
Got
I think
everything.
we've got everything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just investigate him.
Excuse me. Oh boy. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Sir. Oh wait.
You gotta read for him.
This is a critical point in my investigation. I'm a British man. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly.
Yes, perhaps that would be for the best.
Oh god.
God.
Greetings! I hope I haven't... What? I hope I haven't kept you I hope I haven't kept you long. God, this is gonna be difficult. What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? Okay. Giving me an X-ray? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry, what do you see? Feels like he's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. A train of reasoning has run its course, my deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive, just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Doing the voice and like reading is fucking okay.
That's fine.
Sorry,
Yeah.
what? And now, whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least.
But how?
How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining.
Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else?
Oh, but of course, many great things. There is no mystery, my dear madame, for example. You have fled to your native land of Russia, being, as you are, a merciless revolutionary. Sorry for slurring so much, it's just difficult to fucking like do this.
It happens.
and read at the same time. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower.
What?
And when the beribboned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now, nothing deceives these eyes.
I think a lot does, actually.
Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you? Certainly, I am. I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin.
Yeah,
A
there's
Russian
the guy
assassin
standing at
with
the door.
16 victims to his name. I think I have one person who fits the bill.
So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma.
Yes, I'm a Russian revolutionary.
You got me.
What?
And you're plotting a revolution too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo. Absolutely wicked.
No, listen, there's no way I...
Good lord. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything.
This is ridiculous.
The music is back.
Yeah.
How could you do it?
For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously.
Oh, forgive me.
I forgot.
I forgot.
And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. Ah, but was I not right? Who's venturing toward foreign climes, you do find yourself in the most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see. What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So I'm not really sure how you could call it a deduction. It's more of a plain observation. Indeed, and my observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. I think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I hope that's a good voice for him, because Christ.
It's fine, yeah.
I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes.
So, it's really you? The actual Sherlock Holmes?
The very same, the inimitable, actual Sherlock Holmes. Stop saying that, please. Do you know this man, Susato?
The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo! Of course I do! There's nobody who hasn't heard of him.
What planet have I been living on, then?
We must ask him what he's deduced.
I don't think you want to do that.
He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure.
Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Right, okay. Great detective. So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see, you're German? Herlock, was it? Oh, that's, okay. No, I have no her. I have hair. Please, call me Holmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication.
Oh, fuck.
Oh yes, France magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially.
Yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then? Indeed I am. You've read so many of your own stories, you've started to think you really are a detective. Make no mistake, I'm not the poor, deluded felon you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Watson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Watson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy as of late. Why, this very moment I am returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, it is to me a science, logical reasoning in its purest form.
Science?
Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in the subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of a posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, all these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can he look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction. And fame. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Okay. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in Yizbna because of him.
When I became anxious about Kazuma this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open.
And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Sherlock Holmes was on board. And these handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, 2 facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really? 2 facts, you say? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Alright.
Yeah.
Mr. Holmes, tell us, please. What 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah yes, but first let us be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The 2 facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering the escape of the couplet out of the question. Number 2, the victim was Russian and killed following the dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Holmes, what made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. I wish I could read that.
Do you really think Kazuma could have left a dying message in Russian?
In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered Garderobe may be the name of the killer. Certain Robert Garde, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least.
Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly.
Quite so, I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people.
Cool uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea.
And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and left a message, and that I might analyze for possible hidden details. Voice keeps changing.
Fine.
God. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered. Before the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma had already taken away. Had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, yes, thank you. Has been entered into the court record. Can I ask you something, Mr. Holmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that? Ah yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. When I say ah yes, I feel like I understand the accent better. Would you mind explaining the train of that reasoning for me, do you think? Okay, certainly, if it interests you. How many times... I'm not Russian, and I don't speak Russian. Okay, your deduction just now. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean? The now famously accurate troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping you to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and the assassin of 16 part. Ah yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads... Yeah, that's him, that's what he looks like.
But
Revolutionary Dmitry Demiglasky flees from Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma a Russian?
Sounds like Mr. Holmes has concluded he was Russian based off what Kazuma wrote on the floor.
It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same Mr. Revolutionary. One who had killed the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, Dmitry Demiglasky. No, how could it be me? I don't look anything like this man, just look at his face. Just look at his face, man! Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary, after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. The new thing we call it Botox. Oh, please. And, may I add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway.
What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower?
Ah yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article, and he didn't get, like, shot. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far, and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Demiglasky was included. There can be no mistake.
Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviewers with newspaper reporters, I wonder?
What about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Demiglasky is recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Or even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Yeah, take the paper for yourself. It's a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I have absorbed all that is interest of me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. Oh, I see no rubbish bin nearby.
I see the rubbish bin and it's you.
This guy. And you may find the article on the back page of the interest as well. On the back. Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you. You may need someone to interpret. Sorry, in Russian, I couldn't hope to read it. I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Okay, before we do that, what you were just investigating. Before we started talking...
Save and...
Yeah, it auto-saved.
Oh, sure.
Before you started talking and examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma? Ah yes, the victim. Ah yes, the victim. You notice anything useful?
Did you notice anything useful?
Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip, so he can read Japanese apparently. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic! Sad!
He's so mean.
And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've already read it? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not. I know a smattering of Japanese.
Smattering.
Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is.
Nope.
Won't do it to him. Susato, aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns?
I'm sorry, Naruhodo. What on earth do you mean?
Life is so unfair.
Everyone is so mean to me.
Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim, it would appear that the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikoto. Nado nado. I trust you're suitably impressed.
So weebs talk.
But this diary is written with
Twitter.
complicated looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. God.
He's so funny.
So what was all that showing off about before then? I've been in this room for over an hour.
If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Holmes.
Probably like just like 30 minutes in right now. I'm much obliged, my dear madam.
Final entry here in Kazuma's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound.
A whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on.
The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
So there was a snake then.
Uh-oh.
A speckled band, what on earth does that mean?
I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before.
Maybe he got bitten and poisoned.
Yeah.
The ventilation grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Kazuma's diary has been entered in the court record. Okay. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least.
Do you have somewhere to go?
The bathroom, my dear. As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. The man warrants for further investigation, I believe. And if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold.
Oh, I suppose. You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to?
We detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exhalation. Exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate. Hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What?
No.
But why? Simple glance at the wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No? There's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. You must be joking, you just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I have no cause to say such a thing.
Gaslighting him.
I would have no cause to say such a thing.
Well, actually, Mr. Holmes, I did hear you say that too.
You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what, were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then, and this is now. What do you mean? What
Okay,
I mean...
that's all the time I've got. I've got to get back to playing Fortnite. And
God. What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must simply play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. No, he's just being plain rude.
he's just being a cunt.
And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name.
Naruhodo, what are you just standing there for?
Hmm?
We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well.
Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can...
Yeah!
Why though?
After Kazuma spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up?
She tossed you for trying to get out, and now she tosses you for not getting out.
You're just going to roll over and accept your fate?
Ugh, as if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in the scouting while we wait for a chance to slip next door.
Good idea.
Situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this, and bring the real culprit to justice. First of all, oh, there's a...
What the heck?
Okay, is that?
Is something wrong, Naruhodo?
Oh, hi, Clock. Oh no, it's just the crewman standing by the door. Kazuma is dead, and we're on a ship.
Yeah, we're already, like, an hour into the first case, and Kazuma's dead.
It's okay, we haven't left the room yet.
Yeah, we've been in this room for an hour.
I can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before.
Oh, yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir.
Oh, what was his fucking voice? Oh, you were voicing
Oh,
him.
I guess I did him.
Yeah.
Yes? What can I do for you? He's got the same pose and everything.
Yeah, I recognize that face, but it can't be.
He's still dying. He's still coughing up blood.
It is! It's his trademark blood.
I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga.
Hello again.
What are you doing here?
I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped.
Nearly stopped, I hope.
I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship.
Again?
You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector.
If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask.
Maybe he can translate that document.
Oh yeah.
Never expected to see this man on board, but perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Okay, first of all, supposed to look at the back here, okay.
Oh, whoa, whoa. What the fuck?
This is interesting.
Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo?
Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. Oh, wow. High res.
I can't read a single word, I'm afraid.
No, nor can I, but look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think?
She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you?
I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you've noticed this article. Where did you come from? Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops out everywhere, this Mr. Holmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She, of course, was the talented young Nikomina Borshevik. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear that the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room, wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 70,000 rubles.
20,000.
20,000, right? How much is 20,000 rubles?
I have no idea, but I'm quite sure. It must be an unbelievable sum of money.
Back then it probably would have been, yeah.
Yeah, so those eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet. Novovich Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Borshevik and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain.
Could this be another case of a Russian his or her country? Of a Russian fleeing his or her country?
Does seem to be the Russian thing to do.
Yeah, especially as of late.
And
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo.
Okay, updated. Well, entered into the code record. Okay. That's two different ones. Okay. Was this one then? Maybe he'll pop up again.
I'm afraid I can't read a word of Russian.
No, me neither. I have no idea what any of this says. The pair of you floundering is a sorry sight. Allow me to offer some assistance. The article on the front page of this newspaper is concerned with a fearsome Russian revolutionary. It reads, Revolutionary Dmitry Demiglavsky flees Russia via Shanghai. Yes, you told us that before. It reveals also that those who see the man's beard with their own eyes never live to tell the tale.
I guess the photographer's dead.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he is fearsome.
Well, presumably the newspaper photographer was alright, wasn't he? The solution is obvious, of course. If he despises his beard to that degree, he need only shave it off.
I'm not quite sure that's the problem, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, you.
He's so silly and funny.
Okay, this is just... Okay, this, this? Okay. Looks like a boat down there. Let's just talk with him. Special orders. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector?
Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry.
Hmm?
This is all my fault. I take full responsibility.
For what?
My orders were to act as Asugi's bodyguard. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asugi reached Great Britain without being assassinated.
Assassinated? How? How could that have been a possibility?
I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers.
Topical.
Yeah.
Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities.
It's incredible.
I don't believe it. Kazuma was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asuki a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew.
He's doing the
The hand thing,
He's
the
doing
Nagito
the
hand
fucking
thing.
Nagito Komaeda hand thing.
Yeah.
I see.
He talks to his hand.
And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here inside his own cabin, not here on the first-class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asugi is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize.
Inspector.
Gadget. So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word.
I'm not sure we have anything. Okay, permission to investigate, that makes sense. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves.
I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you?
You're not the killer?
Of course not.
We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door.
Yes, we need to be allowed out of this cabin.
I'm sorry.
What?
You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door, that stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two.
I suppose. I'm not just a stowaway now, they think I'm a murderer as well.
Again.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive.
Something persuasive.
What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to.
But I don't see how.
There may be a way.
What? Really?
Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo. By presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession.
Evidence? Okay, this is gonna drag
Just
me.
the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use.
Forgot there's still like tutorial elements here. So evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes, I think I might know what we can use. See if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. Okay. I'm gonna guess this, maybe.
It'd be the wax paper again.
Can I show you this newspaper, Inspector?
I'm sorry, but I can't read Russian very well.
Oh no, that's alright. I know what it says.
So you just wanted to point out your university-level linguistic talents, is that it?
Sorry?
Nothing like me with my regular schooling. You're something much greater. Is that what you were trying to say?
Sorry, forget I mentioned it. Okay, I guess it wasn't a paper seal.
Buy the
wait.
wax paper again.
Yeah.
Ah, this is the paper seal that was stuck over the wardrobe doors this morning, isn't it?
That's right, to try to stop the cabin steward from opening up and discovering me.
Wouldn't it have been better to write it in English if you didn't know Russian?
Maybe, but Ofuda paper amulets like this are part of our culture, Inspector. I thought if I made it look creepy enough, people would be too scared to want to look inside.
It isn't easy being a stowaway, is it?
Wait, this?
You just already show it to him.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, that's not it.
At least you don't get penalized for this.
Yeah,
Except you waste time.
pretty much.
Have you seen this photograph yet, Inspector?
Killed him.
Uh,
Oh dear! Are you alright, Inspector? Yeah, sorry, I'm fine. I was hoping to hide my upset with a fit of coughing and spluttering. I'm usually very good at it. But trying to stifle my feelings seems to have stifled my cough this time. It's all so sad. Asugi was such a promising young man. The Empire had such high hopes for him. I had such high hopes for him, even though I'm just a detective.
we're all going to miss you, Kazuma.
I'm
That
honestly like
wasn't it.
still in denial that he's dead. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
he was our friend. happened?
Oh, the music
What's that?
stopped.
Oh, that's the right one.
It's Kazuma's diary. The last possible one before the badge.
Just before he died, Kazuma wrote something rather strange in his diary.
Strange? In what way?
He wrote, "What looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill."
A speckled band? That is strange.
Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is...
Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it?
You're very astute, Inspector.
That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin.
That's right. So if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was.
Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you.
But really? You're willing to do that?
Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though.
But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders?
I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asugi safe. This is the least I can do.
Thank you.
Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo.
Alright, let's just move out
Just
of
let's
this.
move, and we can leave this cabin at last.
Yeah, finally, it's been an hour and a half.
Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out.
I like
go.
to move it, move it.
Okay. The descriptions of the locations now.
Oh yeah. Why is there a mousetrap in the hallway?
Oh. I don't know. Finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. Less spacious out here than I thought it would be, and this is the most luxurious accommodation.
Yes, indeed. Kazuma was being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage.
Really? That must be awful. Oh, look over there. It's another crewman keeping watch. He looks enormous, even if he's sitting down.
The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't.
I suppose. Like people in handcuffs?
Naruhodo, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time.
You look like a little boy.
I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already.
Well, yes, I know, but the thing is... I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard.
Aboard.
And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe.
It must have been a very trying time for you.
Please, don't give me that pitying look.
She's so condescending. Yeah, you can examine things now.
See that mouse
Examine
trap.
like the ship record and shit. Yeah.
Ah, a trap for catching mice.
Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait.
Let me see. Yes, I think that is what's called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows.
Cheese? I wonder what that would
Japanese
taste
people
like.
don't have cheese.
Cheese, Gromit. You can't eat it, Naruhodo. The trap will snap shut on your fingers.
Really? But I suppose you're right. Who wants the cheese?
You weren't actually going to try it, were you?
All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe.
Or you. I'll find a little snack for you later. A little snack. Fire alarm.
Yeah.
You can't expect the caution, but I guess you can expect the caution. The fire alarm.
Yeah. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it?
That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it.
Oh, an alarm.
It says, press only in times of emergency. This is kind of an emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop.
Oh, this I have to see.
What are you doing, Naruhodo? You mustn't touch it!
This is an emergency situation, just look at these handcuffs. This is...
You know full well that's not what the alarm is for.
Fucking pose.
If you were to bring this vessel for a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation.
Just looks like an angry mom right now. I wish everything would just stop, ship included.
So true, bestie. If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else.
Can we go here now? This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to.
Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging.
Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask.
It's just a bunch of snakes
Oh
in
god.
there. Oh, okay. Oh, he's not even gonna be in the frame.
Oh, excuse me, we need to get inside this cabin here.
This sailor's eyes speak volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out.
So what I wrote on the sign we put over the wardrobe doors. Though this man's version is definitely more effective.
It doesn't look like he's gonna let us pass.
It's a problem. Okay, I guess we can't go there. Is there anything else on here? At least there's less,
Go to the other side, I guess.
less shit
and
to
inspect it.
investigate. Okay. Looks like a plan of the SS Eau Claire. Shows each deck. Look.
The Eau Claire is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering.
Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean?
Same reason planes don't fall out of the sky. Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo.
It is?
Well, consider the Japanese archipelago.
Islands of Japan?
Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them.
Well, they don't float, really. Well, I suppose so.
Yeah, the shipwrecker.
A huge book on the top of the table there. There's a pen next to it.
Yes, it looks like the ship's log.
Shall we have a little look through it?
The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded.
You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such a beautiful handwriting. And nothing. No reaction at all. But he might appreciate the compliment.
What if he just doesn't understand Japanese?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruhodo, even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank.
Presumably that means there was nothing to report.
That's the way to the second-class area of the ship. Is something wrong?
I was thinking about making a run for it, just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me.
I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you even reach for the handle of the door, that burly seaman would surely shoot you dead. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far.
No, I started it with my talk of running away. There's no way I could run away while Kazuma's death remains a mystery anyway. Alright, him. Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer.
That's good.
That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright,
Alright, let me try instead.
I can have like a heavy voice, you know.
Yeah. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you?
You little third-class lady's maid.
Oh,
We seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Susato. I am not sailor, my mother gave me name. I am senior crewman, Mitrov Stroganov. The best thing is to just avoid eye contact, I think. Very little music in this section.
Yeah.
Mr. Stroganov, about the first-class cabin area. Here we are, in the finest part of Alcar steamship, for very important persons. What sort of important persons? Government officials, kings and queens, traveling in secret, many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean, but Stroganov is not animal. Thank you.
If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asuki's currently occupied?
Duh. Susato, did you understand that?
It sounded like duh. I think it's probably Russian for yes or no.
Genius.
She's so smart.
It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there's somebody in the next door cabin at least.
Yes, it's tantalizing.
Okay. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asugi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. He is very important Western gentleman. Western gentleman. Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lonely student from insignificant Far East Islands. That was harsh.
Did you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard?
That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been at Kazuma's cabin the entire time, never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone in there.
Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right?
That is not your business. Okay, last night. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganov? Duh, all time. So criminals like you cannot come in. Or get out.
I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all?
It is sad about student boy. Were you here on watch last night as well? Of course. Did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Niet! Susato, did you understand that?
It was clearly a no.
Okay, she understood that. I saw nothing unusual, nothing at all. You didn't hear any strange noises, or sense anything was wrong in some way? Is he looking to the side? I said no! Sorry! I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there.
This is enough. I cannot say more now.
Oh.
It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin.
Yes, alright. You go do that.
Bulkhead to second class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as English say, when the pigs fly.
Yes,
Is
I
lobster
understand.
on top of the mountain an actual fucking Russian saying?
I have no idea.
Sounds kind of funny.
Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we?
Oh boy, definitely. Okay, is there anything new here? We don't have to. Okay, there's more here. I'll just check if there's anything new. I think it's that door we haven't checked. That door, gonna go in there. That's the door to the cabin. First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin.
Not our cabin. It's Kazuma's.
Sorry?
Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin.
You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? Small as the wardrobe I've been calling home.
These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin in steerage is number 539, by the way.
500 How many cabins are there? Are they on the fucking Titanic? That
It
book
might
on
as well be.
that book on the top of the table is really huge. There's a pen with it too.
Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log.
We'll have a little look through it.
A little peek.
The writing is so neat
Oh,
and
we've read this.
precise.
Oh, already this. Yeah.
This should be new.
Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank.
There was nothing to report. Okay, there was nothing new here. Okay,
Yeah.
it's just a door. Is it? Okay. Let's ask. Okay, knock knock.
Who's there?
Was it
A
say?
skeleton.
It's God. It says something in Russian. I thought it was like 5030.
No, that would be a lot.
No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries.
How annoying.
How cringe.
What was that? It came from inside the cabin.
Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman.
Thank you. Stand aside. Oh, I'm about to break this door
Oh.
down.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Holmes!
I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges.
I think he just wanted an excuse to do that.
Yeah.
Please, wait, Mr. Holmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted.
It doesn't. Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. So chaotic.
It's gonna be like it's gonna be fucking that character from DDLC hanging from this Natsuki. It's gonna be
God.
her hanging in there,
Was that her
calling
name?
it.
No,
Yeah.
it was Sayori.
Oh no, not Natsuki. Sayori. Yeah, right.
Sayonara. Oh God. Okay.
Whoa.
Who are you?
A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed?
Scream, I just scrumped.
Get out, all of you, now! I should have something on my face when I do his voice. Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Royalot, I believe? Yes, that's me. Here you are. I am the one and only, the actual Sherlock Holmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. I am a great detective among great detectives, one who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. Man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We did distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But it wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time.
What are you implying?
Well, I might be so bold to ask, did you open that small traveling case?
Oh my god.
Well, don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it is quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk? Don't look at me. Oh.
Oh. Oh my! Did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, that case just shook. Leave, now! Otherwise, I call in steward! So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. There's no doubt about it. The strange Russian man is hiding something.
Couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns.
The books are also tipped over here. The same way almost.
They reused the sprite. Why is he in the wardrobe?
Oh. What do you think you're doing? This is my cabin. Get out!
Could we just have a quick look inside your travel case, perhaps?
No!
What a pity. I think we're out of luck.
I think you're right.
Doesn't appear to be anything more we can do.
I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. Yeah, perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. It's just fucking... Okay. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Holmes? You need only address me as Holmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Holmes... Mr. Holmes, what are you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course.
Resting?
Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service.
Oh!
And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, you're spot on, for once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret?
Kill them.
Why, the truth, of course. It should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it?
Oh, yeah, please!
Well then, what are you about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Here we go. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time it occurs to me. Is it the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness? Or Russian account of his dubiousness?
Russian ears.
I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you, right? Or anyone.
That's right. And Mr. Holmes... I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on our first meeting, but I once read, "It is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment."
Shh! I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. Huh? There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shares, you're about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? Huh. And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not?
Oh, Naruhodo! I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Holmes's great deductions with my own eyes.
That was a great deduction.
Nothing can deceive Mr. Holmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person.
What? What ineffable twaddle?
Oh, yes. I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of the great deduction firsthand.
Okay. Right.
This is like a dream come true.
I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylott's face. It's like somehow both Mr. Holmes's conclusions were right. How could you? How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I'll explain how it was that I arrived at this part of a pair of conclusions. So I accordingly invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board a train of reasoning. But plainly, let us work for my deductions together.
Oh my god. The game is afoot. Is it really gonna be like this?
Yeah. So, the dubious working Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously, what catches the eye in the first place is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us right in the face. You will go on the verge of using that shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front-page article, which it would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity, the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Dmitry Demiglavsky flees Russia from Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Dmitry Demiglasky. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Oh god. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawareness, people have propensity to let their eyes astray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, the traveling case. This time I think that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? And by my estimation, a young lady, perhaps, once slight enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would the identity be of this young lady traveling in the case?
Oh, it's gonna be the fucking princess, isn't it?
Dear me. We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Caseless Coupe de Whale betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found within the pages of this newspaper. There's another most stimulating article.
Stimulating.
If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page, renowned prima ballerina of Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction, and according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikomina Borshevich. Bolshevik.
It's Bolshevik, Ivan.
Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma, Elemensky.
Oh my god.
Who's your fucking mechanic? This game. Susato, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it?
Well, the stories are full of Mr. Holmes's brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow.
Excuse me, Mr. Holmes, could you come over here for a moment? Ray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions, would you mind? Not at all, go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other. Ah yes, I recall our discussion earlier, but at the time I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary, while able to revolutionize his own appearance.
No.
In fairness to Mr. Holmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you do.
That's not the point. And another thing about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear to be too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just as a first glance, it is too small, clearly. You're lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, even if you pushed really hard.
Well, it did just move.
Yeah.
I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she?
You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15.
So she's a year younger than Susato.
No, I didn't know. How could I? It's gonna be a running theme, I think.
Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the side, from the case.
Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain liveliness in their bodies. Vinegar? Was such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case.
Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionist in the circus, Mr. Holmes.
Ugh, this whole thing is turning into a circus. This ship is the entire
Mr.
circus.
Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Holmes's deductions just now. Also, what?
This whole ship is an entire circus.
I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just wherever he directs his attention and his logic that seem a little off.
The idea of a little may be a little off itself, Miss Susato.
It's just one or two key words in his deductions that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think?
Switch some keywords in his deductions.
Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Holmes's great deduction.
Precisely the thought I was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder
True.
how anyone puts up with me.
So true, buddy.
Not that funny. Ah, and you, my good fellow. Sorry. Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists?
What? Where are your handcuffs?
Huh? How did... Oh, I thought they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Holmes,
Mr. Holmes, you're a marvel.
And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished. I'm not worried, in fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let's begin. Okay, let's save.
Yeah.
If something happens.
Jesus, we've been here for 2 hours.
Yeah. Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular.
SJW is being owned by facts and logic.
Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Holmes.
Hold it.
I don't need to read this again, so
Nah.
I can give my voice a rest a little bit.
Yeah, you've been doing a bit more than I have. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard?
Yeah, that would be, you know,
Cringe.
difficult. But that's something I'll ever have to worry about. Doesn't quite sit right with me, though.
It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either.
Which means, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong. It's trying to switch a... Oh,
Let's try to switch a keyword here, Naruhodo, and see if it helps matters.
alright. But how?
I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylott.
I wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on.
Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Holmes's deduction better,
Then what? And I'll... Oh,
then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo.
why might you want to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylott really going to use those enormous shears for? Oh, I can look
His
around.
nose. Cut off his nose. His fucking Santa nose.
Oh, okay.
Golden locks. Oh!
Hope his beard, golden locks.
Golden locks?
Yes!
Whoa.
Nice. Oh.
Oh!
You were on the verge of using those shoes to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified yourself the precise detail I was intending to expose.
Why didn't you say so sooner?
Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all, you're a woman, and judging from the length and sheen of your hair, one's still very much in her youth.
What the heck?
Oh no. Well, I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected.
So who is this bitch?
The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have the clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity, the article about the revolutionary.
It's not the article about the revolutionary, it's the one about the princess, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that was a shock. And no idea old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that?
Yeah, it was a surprise, Naruhodo.
You dumb bitch.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Sorry?
You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing the facts with Mr. Holmes.
I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything.
It's not like I'm having fun or anything, Baka.
Yes, I understand. Say no more.
Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Holmes' deductions, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit with the facts at all now.
No, that's true, given that Mr. Roylott is actually a woman.
Exactly, he, or rather she, can possibly be this merciless revolutionary.
I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now.
Yes.
Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we now understand them.
For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I realized that I've either read or heard about young women in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best. Yeah, okay.
Yes!
The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right, you've hit the nail on the head. Renowned Princess Ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear that we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina. Miss Nikomina Borshevik.
Oh jeez. What's she got? What's under that hat? Oh wow.
Do you want to switch voices?
Wait, where'd her boobs come from? They weren't there before. Do you want me to voice her?
If you want.
I don't know if I can do a Russian accent though, that's the problem.
I could try like...
Yeah.
You're right.
You can do it.
You're right. Oh. My real name is Nico. I can't do... Oh my god. Because I'm...
It's like that fucking McElroy's clip. My name is Amelie. I eat an egg with a spoon.
Gotta hang on 1 second. Alright. My real name is Nico. I mean Nikomina Borshevik.
That's good.
But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. Solved. You kidnapped yourself.
Many such cases.
Now, as for my second conclusion... You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. Ah. And a proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Miss Bolshevik. Taken unawares, people have the propensity to let their eyes astray, you see. Ah! I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, the traveling case. This one's also wrong. This woman is the ballerina. She's right in front of our eyes. Clearly she can be inside the traveling case as well. No, that's right.
No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all.
In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? I can see I'm gonna have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again.
You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Holmes?
You gay bitch. Stop it. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. Yeah, let's see.
Oh, the tiara is right there.
Oh, wow, okay. Okay, yeah. I was like... you were so, like...
that easy.
Jump scares you.
Yes!
The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. I believe the tiara is worn on stage by dancers in Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in the newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft. Oh no! Yes, you left your ballet troupe and unluckily taking their precious tiara with you. Ah! God. I have no one, no family, no friends. I am all alone and I need money. I'm sorry. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, what do you say, Anaru, Russia. It belongs to me. This girl is only 15 years old. She's run away all by herself. Must have been extremely lonely.
I'll be her friend.
Alright, I will tell you everything. There is no point in hiding it now. Come, come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it remained closed. Is that not so, Miss Bolshevik? My dear girl, there's no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I have laid eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil betrays you. Once again, you can only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Find the answer. I don't even know what you're saying right now.
I said I couldn't help you with the pronunciation of the French word because I have no idea how you're meant to say that either.
Yeah. Yes, the reason why you refused to open your case. Read in the books on the shelf. What?
Wait, what?
It's completely changed the tack with his deduction now. I think Mr. Holmes is adapting his logic.
I think Mr. Holmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you?
Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought up the bookshelf into all of this? Just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? It doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young one doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her.
Yes, that's true, but still. Miss Bolshevik certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself.
There has to be another reason why she wouldn't open her case. It must be somewhere in the same area, if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn.
I agree. That's the only answer.
Whatever she was hidden inside that case. You revealed following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. Okay. That's so sensitive. Books on the
I don't
shelf.
think the
Oh,
books in the statue.
wait, maybe the warning. Right?
Oh, right. Remember the pet?
Yeah, the pet. Maybe she has a pet
Maybe there's
snake.
like a pet in her suitcase.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside a case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. Hi! As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, and no weapon or other dangerous item would move on its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Borshevik. Inside your traveling case...
Chicken. Oh wow.
is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's... forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage. A pet. What a pose.
There was the
God.
snake at the start, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Are they gonna do this for every fucking thing?
Elementary.
Elementary. He didn't even say that. Like, the real guy who was fucking Sherlock Holmes never said that.
Elementary, my dear Watson. So clearly you
Say
aren't...
that.
You aren't who you said who you were.
No, I am not Grimsby Royalot.
If it's hurting your voice, I can do it.
The worst part is that I can do it, just like sort of some of my voice just breaks because I don't do that usually.
Yeah, that's normal. Oh, what the heck?
My real name is Nikobina Borshevik. Everything you said was correct.
Eat like water.
Yeah.
You absconded during your... Especially because I have to keep going low to do Holmes.
Yeah.
You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Maybe this is good training, I don't know. Later that same night...
Expand your vocal range.
Yeah, you stole abroad this vessel. It could have been easy. The Eau Claire is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Should you really have snuck on board without being noticed? In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. You intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave, well, alone. So it was just you, about to cut off your own hair. What's that letter on the screen that we heard from the outside the cabin? That veritable tinkling of a bell? Why, not other than this young lady, naturally. More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me.
I was so scared when I ran away from Shikai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disgust myself so no one would recognize me.
It happens.
I'm glad it's entertaining for you, at least.
As a result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man? I see.
I put on fur hat and fake beard. And just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper, right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened. I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I did change my appearances completely, they would find me.
You don't have to go that high.
decided to cut all my hair as fastly as possible. So I picked up the scissors in my hand and...
At that precise moment, we walked in through the unknowingly unlocked the cabin door.
Things happen like that sometimes, don't they?
Things do indeed happen like that, from time to time. Those two even talking about the same thing.
There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case?
You are right. It is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world.
And I suffocated him in his little chest.
Please don't tell anyone if the captain finds out. If you say it to any of the crew.
Your secret is safe with us, I assure you, but in return... you must tell us, in as much detail as you can muster, about the events of last night.
Yes, alright. I will tell you.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo? Wasn't it something? Mr. Holmes's great deduction.
Certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. Or at least Miss Bolshevik has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrists. My...
Ah! Your hands are cuffed again.
What? But how?
He's sneaky like that.
True to my word, I have restored your shackles. When? And why?
Just to fuck with him.
Really does.
There is still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry to say, it can't be helped at the moment.
Huh? Can't it? Really?
Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Bolshevik has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I have to find out what the Speckled Band that Kazuma wrote about in his diary really was.
Christ. Thing. Let's converse. Do you know someone that was killed in the cabin next door? Next door to this one last night?
One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast.
The man who died was a friend of mine.
Ah, oh.
We're trying to figure out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night?
Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example. Perhaps people talking?
Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest. Perhaps its steam engine exploded. Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed if that happened.
Miss Bolshevik, is there anything you can tell us?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
You're so helpful.
Sorry, what?
She's so helpful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. All I could think about last night was I had done and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me.
Oh, I see. You've run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novovich Ballet?
Yes. I'm traveling to Great Britain, and from there, I want to go to America. I'll never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life.
You wish to forget a challenging proposition. When you have that striking tiara as a reminder.
But the tiara is mine. I need it to live.
I will literally die without this tiara. I hope you understand.
I have no money of my own. The Novovich Ballet gives us only a little food and water. And we must dance all over the world. I had to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, they would have killed me.
So you ran away to protect yourself?
Yes, the crew of this ship, they have all been kind to me. They let me come on board, and they said I could hide in this cabin.
First class? Damn.
Yeah, they really liked her.
If that is indeed the truth, Miss Bolshevik, it creates a most intriguing conundrum.
Yes, it does. What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Me? Oh, well, yes, of course. I think you should hear Miss Bolshevik's explanation. What conundrum, I'm not sure, but... What's new? Conundrum, okay. Miss Bolshevik, allow me to pose you a riddle. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. Very important, like, cadence from her. However, this is all clear, stopped by no port last night. Ah, that's it, of course. So now how is it, pray, that you come to be aboard?
I like the music.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, the crewmen outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that.
Oh, it's like the logic theme, I think.
Oh yeah.
It was just after we asked him about when the occupant of this cabin came aboard.
Oh, nice. That is not your business. Yes, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something.
Angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage.
Sorry, what was that?
It is out in the Russian newspapers described one of my performances. And that is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens, because I am an angel.
What?
Oh.
Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid.
Mr. Holmes once said, "I never can resist a touch of the dramatic." It seems Miss Bolshevik is the same.
A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said by myself.
So true, bestie.
A quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, in fact. This is the kind of guy who would, like, have his status as a quote of himself. Yes,
This is
Mr.
the type
Shall
of
we?
guy who would make that post on r/atheism.
Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Bolshevik is going to tell us what really happened. Okay, friend.
Friend! Let's find about the friend.
The friend you mentioned inside your traveling case, is that right?
I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage.
Oh please, don't tell any of the crew. If they found my precious.
And the burly Russians would bestir themselves in unison to throw you and your case overboard, no doubt.
So mean.
So reassuring, Mr. Holmes.
But what sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy? It is, isn't it?
He really wants to see a puppy.
Yeah. Be an adorable little rabbit. A Benui? Ha! You credit Russia as a land with small rabbits, do you? Oh, don't they have small rabbits there then? You may well ask. I have no idea. You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding the nature of young ballerina's friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken.
Chicken! Let's go! Really?
Chicken we ate last night. Consider the benefits. A rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs, and when adversity strikes, it could satisfy the needs of sustenance.
Oh my goodness.
So you'd eat your friends, I'll remember that.
It's gonna be a snake.
Well, it will appear that this friend's identity is a closely guarded secret not to be revealed. Ha ha ha!
What's so funny?
Just laughs. She obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. Something I should like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. Article about
We have to present,
herself?
I guess,
Oh wait, maybe the diary.
yeah.
The Speckled Band. This is the diary of my friend who passed away.
His diary?
Yes, and he wrote in the last night before he died something a little unusual. It reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. But then a few minutes later, 1:45 a.m. It looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
A speckled band? I don't understand.
Strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentioned joins to this cabin, you see. It's up there on the wall with... Oh.
In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together.
Oh!
Miss Borshevik? Has something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned mean something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps?
No. I don't know anything.
Oh.
You sure?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Excuse me, Mr. Roylott. So... Yes, what? Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarters at once. Please.
Alright, I will come now.
What?
You must leave now.
You could do like a fake deep voice for her.
It's just like a high-pitched voice that's also deep. You know how difficult that is?
Yeah.
Yes, please don't worry yourself, Mr. Roylott.
Don't!
The passenger sit out, or do you want me to throw you out? Ugh, looks like we'll have to wait to leave investigating this cabin until later.
But I want to see the friends.
I want to see the snack.
Yeah.
And so we lost our chance. This is the bad ending. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Borshevik's cabin, we are unceremoniously chased out, and the save's here too, so you have to replay the whole thing again.
Wait, what?
I'm just kidding. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside.
Fucked up.
To be continued.
Okay. I think we should stop here for the night. I mean, like, we're almost 3 hours in.
Yeah, 2:45.
And this is like, yeah.
Save. Yeah, okay. I've was in a lot of characters here.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine. I'll just see how far we are in the case real quick.
Yeah.
This is 4 hours, by the way, so...
Okay, we're about like halfway through it.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I...
So tired today.
With bated
It's okay.
breath.
Looks like we're about halfway through. Just about the same spot when we ended episode 1.
Any indication? Or like the save things, any indication?
Yep. Save twice, just in case. Alright, well, we'll leave it at that for now. And, okay.
Yep.
So, that's gonna be it for today. Things are getting interesting. We saw our first deduction. Took fucking forever to get out of between two rooms.
Yeah.
But yeah, next time it should probably be on Sunday as usual.
I'm so upset that they just straight up fucking killed him. They killed him.
They killed him, yeah. They killed Edgeworth's ancestor. How's he gonna exist now?
don't think he's even Edward's ancestor, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, he, you know,
Similar.
he probably didn't have kids yet, so he probably wouldn't be able to pass on.
Yeah, didn't pass on his bloodline.
We have to think about that as well.
Fucked up.
Oh well, that was fun though. See you some other time. I might try to do a stream tomorrow or something, a dev stream or something, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See you. Have a good night. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Good night.